She said!
Let them eat cake.
Who took the bomb?
We're getting screwed, man. Every time we turn around, we're getting screwed. Oh, the revolution's going to be through podcasting for sure. That's the only way we talk. It's the little guys that take the brunt of everything. It's got to stop. Peasants, man. We're just peasants. Every one of us. You watch those old movies, you see the peasants in the background with the kings and queens walking around. We're those people. We're those people. Good morning, peasants. Welcome to another episode of the Peasant's Perspective. See, Ron, I knew I'd get my energy right. I had to do some jumping jacks earlier. I'm just so tired. Some mornings I just do not want to wake up. But people like Sarah Sings in the chat bright and early. Good morning. Election day here in Oklahoma are what gets me up every morning. I know you guys are going to be waiting. And I got the feedback last week when I was traveling across the country. Some of you were like, I've got a serious peasants addiction. And when you're not broadcasting, you're watching the replays, which was great. I love that, by the way. All the extra views on last week's shows. I could tell you guys were just trying to fill the time gap. Frazier, good morning from Idaho. Welcome. Pony Boy, good morning. Glad you guys made it bright and early. Love it so much. All right. So I know why you guys come early. You come for the simultaneous sip. And today, during the simultaneous sip, we're going to listen to Hakeem Jeffries go stutter-faced. And all you need to do that is get a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, a chalice, a stein, a canteen, jug, or flask, a vessel of any kind, and fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee this morning. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure of the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's the simultaneous sip, and it starts right now.
Which is going to make their life better.
The gas prices were this high under Obama, too. So,
well, listen, no,
and Biden.
Well, I'm not,
right? President Biden, didn't we have gas prices at over $5?
No, well, there were gas prices in the immediate aftermath of
and I remember eggs were like $12 a dozen.
But gas prices were high under Obama and Biden. And he's like, the Putin price increase. The Putin price increase. Oh, man. What a joke he is. Like, I look at some of these politicians. I'm like, how do they do it, man? These people are like, he's third in line to the presidency. All right. We've got Carlitz in the chat. Howdy, y'all. Just me _PNW. Another sunny day in paradise. Yes, it is. We've had a good couple days. Saw a Jeep driving around with its top off. And I was like, hey, you got like 4 days a year here in Seattle where that's a safe choice. It's either too cold or too much of a chance of rain to risk it. Anyways, very fun, you guys. So we didn't cover this too much, but we had that UFC event at the White House the other day. I mean, talk about ultimate bread and circus, you know, UFC gladiator fight on the day that we made peace in Persia on the Emperor's birthday. It's perfect Roman trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect Roman trajectory for bread and circus. But this caused the left media to just kind of melt down. This was Anna Navarro talking about the 250th birthday and this just disgraceful UFC fight. I can't actually do her accent. That's not really it. But this disgraceful UFC fight at the White House. Look at this crowd.
I'll tell you, I didn't watch one second of that UFC fight because to me, that does not celebrate America's 250th anniversary. That does not signify America's best values. And I'll tell you, he is so obsessed with the Obamas. They live rent-free in their head. But I'm going to tell you how I'm going to celebrate the 250th anniversary. Number one, I am going to, on Thursday, is the opening of the Obama Center in Chicago.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Oh, that thing.
I'm going to be celebrating the fact that he was the first black president elected in this country in 250 years.
By the Venezuelans.
You can tune in and you can watch the live stream. And the other thing I'm going to do to celebrate the birthday of America is come November, I'm going to show up and I'm going to vote Republicans who are putting no accountability on this administration.
I like that.
I'll tell you.
These ladies on The View are hilarious. So they had I don't know who it was, but they were going to have some Republican guest on. And they were like, we really need to control the questions because a lot of times these Republicans just like to go off the charts. It was like a lot of times these Republicans, you've had 98 guests out of the last 100 that were Democrats. Like you don't even have conservative guests on. What do you mean all the Republicans always do this? You have them on so rarely that you can't even do a case study.
Well, you can't, Taylor. They just go off the rails.
So have you seen some of the violence and rioting around this Knicks playoffs games?
I saw one guy that running around punching people.
Oh my goodness. They've like burning buses in the streets.
What?
Like it's bad.
Why?
The Knicks, maybe not NBA championship material.
They won, right?
Their fans are turning out to be worse than Philadelphia fans. Like,
but they won, right?
I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't even know who they were playing, which is odd because we're kind of an NBA family. But the Knicks made it to the playoffs. And the only reason I know that is because you've got all these people on TV wearing Knicks gear all of a sudden. Like suddenly they care. Chantini, good morning, everyone. Glad you made it. Anyways, what a crazy joke. So the Knicks fans are probably turning out to be about the worst fans in the country. Just absolute rioting after their games. It's crazy. So the other thing about that UFC fight, right? A lot of people are talking about how that was desecrating the grounds of the White House. Oh, the sacred grounds. I always think I've heard that argument, and we haven't covered it the last couple days because the UFC event now is a couple days back. But it's just like this ultimate hypocrisy of the left.
Yeah, and it's kind of projecting like it's some kind of a temple or something.
Yeah, like it's some kind of a temple.
Sacred ground.
I'll remind people, 50 plus, maybe up to 70% of this country identifies as Christian. And even though we're very accepting of our neighbors and your weird Uncle Bob and their odd lifestyles, like we're wildly accepting. But if we're going to go down the route about hallowed spaces and sacred ground and the symbolism of things, maybe the Biden administration should have thought twice before they had the transgender day at the White House, Pride days on the White House.
Trans people deserve health equity. Trans people deserve to see trans joy in the media. Trans people deserve to exist peacefully.
Trans people deserve autonomy.
Trans people deserve to be loved and believed.
Trans kids deserve to be kids.
Trans people deserve to exist without gender. Trans people deserve to grow old.
Trans people deserve strength. Trans people deserve access to the sports they love, just like everybody else.
Trans people deserve a spot on the platform. Trans people deserve equity.
Trans people deserve celebration. Trans people deserve to know they are sacred.
Trans people deserve the world.
Trans people deserve everything. This month, and especially today at White House Pride, my first time here, I want to be reminded of the joy that this community holds, of our resilience, of our power.
You know what I saw? I saw a bunch of gay people right there on the White House ground. There's a lot of gay people. That is just like, I remember being in prison in Philadelphia when this was happening. And of course, CNN was playing clips and you had these black guys. I mean, I remember one guy named Max.
I can only imagine what they were saying.
Max. And Max like hated Donald Trump and was super cool, like really loved Democrats. Like he's just one of those old school black guys, like, I don't know, just completely in on the Democrat Party. And he's sitting there watching this thing. He's like, Doug, you were there with us. Doug Wyatt in the chats. He was there with me. He's like, nah, this is bullshit, man. That's not the Democrats. Like, nah, this is bullshit. Like they're totally like, what the blink is that? And we're like, dude, Biden has like a couple transgenders in their cabinet. Nah, like total denial. It's like one of the most homophobic communities you're ever gonna find. It's the black community. They were so not down with it, man. It was pretty funny. Frazier says JD Vance is supposed to be on The View today. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So the other thing with this UFC fight, and I don't know what to make of this, Ron. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know if it's just par for the course. Like every time there's a big political event, there's a potential terror attack that's thwarted. Sure. Well, I'm not really sure, but apparently there was a drone attack at this UFC event that got thwarted by the FBI.
This breaking news just into the Fox newsroom. The FBI disrupting this alleged plot targeting the UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House. Officials telling Fox a network of nearly 24 potential plotters were identified, with at least 5 people in custody right now. The suspects allegedly traveled to Fredericksburg, Virginia to make final preparations for the attack. And the alleged plan allegedly included explosive-packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation, and then steering crowds, get this, toward a pre-staged sniper team. A second wave was then planned to storm the White House gate. The FBI first learned of the threat on June 10th and worked with law enforcement across multiple states to stop it. FBI Director Ash Patel saying, quote, "We are built to detect, respond to, and bring to justice those who threaten the lives of American citizens, particularly during large gatherings like the historic UFC 250 fight." That's exactly what we did here. Over 4,300 people were in attendance for UFC 250, which included 1,200 service members. Luckily, nobody was harmed during the FBI's takedown. The event went off without a hitch.
Nobody was harmed during the creation of this entrapment plot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. When they said 5 of them were arrested, I was like, let's do the math and find out how many FBI informants there were.
With 18 informants and some SPLC funding, we were able to plot a UFC terror attack. I don't know, right? This is what's so difficult about stuff like this. On one hand, we're like, yes, thank you. Keeping us safe. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Go catch the bad guys. And then we're going to like read the case files. We're going to be like, this whole idea was planted in the brains of these autistic guys by some FBI agents looking for a big payday, a big plot to disrupt. It's like, it kind of screams out Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I don't know. But then again, I don't know. Maybe there were some real terrorists out there. I have no idea. The other question I have is, we detected this plot. I'm like, how did you detect it? Was there like an FBI snitch? Did a good person call in and give you a tip? Or is this like FISA, you're always spying on the American people type of tip? You know what I mean? Or did you create the terror cell yourself?
Did you turn in the receipts for the turkey baster and the timer?
Yeah, the timer and the DJI drones.
Right, exactly.
We're going to find out the drones were actually inoperable. It's like, okay. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that, but my trust in law enforcement and the FBI is pretty low.
I wonder if that drone had a limp.
The drone had a drone operator lived in his grandma's basement. So another huge thing happened yesterday.
All right.
Guess what? Gavin Newsom is big mad because turns out the FBI and the DOJ are sniffing around his house, his wife, his kids, his friends and family. And so he's pretty dang certain he's on Trump's hit list. Listen to this. This is a press conference speech he gave after he found out that he's under DOJ criminal investigation.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees, not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my...
This is so
years and years of random documents. I don't think they're random, bro.
They got bookkeeping entries for an NDA settlement going on, like 34 entries. This is like projection much, I mean, totally projection much.
Tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president. Because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump.
I'm actually surprised he said that. That's just not accurate, right? He was found liable of sexual abuse, which, by the way, so are you, Ron. We're all liable of sexual abuse.
Oh, no.
It's not adjudicated or anything, but you're liable. You could be sued.
Ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly joined that list.
Oh, boy.
After calling for my arrest last year, Donald Trump directed his Department of Justice to investigate me. And just in the last week, I've learned that his campaign has reached my own home. To get me, he's coming after my wife, Jen. Public servant, a woman who's dedicated her life to supporting women and girls. Someone who has done nothing wrong other than having the temerity to advocate for what she believes in.
Ooh,
if they can't intimidate me, they'll go after the mother of our children. Donald Trump picked the wrong target. We have nothing to hide.
Any chance when they raided his house, they went through your wife's panty drawer? Because they did that to Melania, just FYI.
His political operatives can take every record and read every page, but they'll be looking in the wrong place. Because if they really want to find corruption, look no further than 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Donald Trump.
Circa 2021 to 2025.
Yeah, I see what you're doing there.
In fact, you might even find some crack cocaine in one of the lockers, right? In the White House.
Is selling the presidency. He's running the largest cash heist in American political history, trading foreign tariff relief.
10% for the big guy, anybody? 10% for the big guy?
Yeah.
For approval of his golf courses. Day trading behind the Resolute desk, reaping hundreds of millions of dollars in personal profit. And he's doing it openly. He's doing it on camera. He did it last night on the White House lawn. He's doing it through cryptocurrencies. He's doing it through the receipt of a $400 million private jet from a foreign government that he plans to keep when he leaves office. Through his son's ventures in countries where his own administration is simultaneously making policy. His personal fortune has skyrocketed by $4 billion since making his return to office. This is the behavior of a regime, not a republic. The White House has become a marketplace for sneakers and coins and watches, cologne, guitars, Bibles, and phones. Influence for sale, access for sale. And today, my family.
Listen, you're just jealous. He's just jealous because he didn't have all those good ideas.
Gavin, you need to just start a Twitch stream and just keep doing this.
Just go. Just
and
run with it.
I really like it when you pause the stream because when you come back, it's always fun to see what the first word comes out of his mouth is.
Ready?
And I can personally confirm that justice is for sale. So Donald Trump, who I know is watching because he watches everything, I have a message for you. You can subpoena my records. You can investigate me. You can harass me. Put my name on every and any enemies list you have, but leave.
Sounds like a great idea. Harass, investigate, put it on the enemies list. All right, let's do it.
My wife and family out of your personal vendetta.
That's my safe haven. That's where I shelter all my earnings.
Hold on. That was Will Smith's line.
Take her name out of your
mouth. Say something to my wife. These times are not normal. They're not ordinary. I love you, and I'm sorry he's doing this. You have not earned a single one of the indignities that he's trying to inflict on you and our children. And to Donald Trump, this country does not belong to you. It does not belong to your cronies. And we're going to fight your lawlessness. And we're going to continue to remind the people of this country of your corruption. That same corruption our founders warned us against as we move to celebrate our 250th anniversary. I'm going to keep reminding Americans of what they warned would happen if a man with no character ever held the office of presidency. So let me say it again. Mr. President, come after me. I'm not going anywhere. And the country is watching.
Oh, man. I have very low expectations that Republicans are going to do anything. This investigation, apparently it started under Joe Biden. Now, we've put governors in prison before. Look at the state of Illinois. They've had a series of them go to prison. Most recently, Rod Blagojevich for what? Selling a Senate seat? I have a feeling the political leadership in California has done more than just sell a Senate seat. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I got a feeling that this could get to be something pretty big. Now, there was
They're just searching around for evidence or something.
There was a little bit of a follow-up news report. This was done by KCRA and News, and they're following up on exactly what is the nature of this investigation into Gavin Newsom and his wife. But before that, Jay, in the chats, God's Army Brat says, "You mean to believe that the FBI has yet to fire the old deep state agents? Yeah, that's pretty much it. God's Army. Aunt Nancy will save him. Yeah, it could be possible. It could be possible Aunt Nancy will save him. Pony Buddy, they should go down for taking all that money that was donated to the California fire relief. Gosh, it's like one thing after another in California. And it's everywhere, Ron. I mean, yesterday we even featured a little scandal here in Kitsap County, which we'll follow up with a separate episode after this one. But anyways, so the DOJ is investigating Governor Newsom and his wife.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, but off the top, as of right now, Monday, June 15th, neither Governor Gavin Newsom nor his wife, Jennifer Siebel Newsom, have been subpoenaed or arrested by federal authorities. Governor Gavin Newsom released a video this morning announcing that he is under investigation and his wife by the U.S. Department of Justice. He essentially said it's at the direction of President Donald Trump and Todd Blanche. I've heard from multiple sides of this, including several sources close to the situation. Here's what we know. Now, this all apparently started with the banks associated with the nonprofit organizations and businesses that are associated with the governor and his wife. Apparently, these banks were subpoenaed for the financial records of these entities. Now, it's not clear exactly which ones as of tonight. Then last week, according to the governor's office, more than a dozen people associated with the Newsoms were either approached or interviewed by the FBI. Family, friends, former employees, associates. Now, sources who spoke to me on the condition they remain anonymous told me that it's not the Department of Justice in Washington that's investigating him. It's the Eastern District of California, the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Sacramento, that is. Apparently, there are multiple investigations that started a year ago from whistleblowers who provided information to the U.S. Attorney's Office here. Now, this U.S. Attorney's Office is the same one that has been prosecuting this case against Governor Gavin Newsom's ex-chief of staff, Dana Williamson. Williamson just took a plea agreement in that whole situation, and one of my sources said that one of these investigations is related to her and other governor's office staff. I talked to her attorney, McGregor Scott, who said this was the first he's hearing about all of this. Now, the source close to the investigation said that another investigation involves the taxes of the nonprofits that Governor Gavin Newsom's wife oversees. It's not clear which ones. The source did not get specific and couldn't tell me more beyond that. A lot of people online I'm seeing are saying that this is an investigation that started with the Biden administration when the governor's ex-chief of staff was being indicted in November, which is an investigation that started with the Biden administration. The governor's office had said at that point that the governor had not been approached or interviewed by the FBI, and he was not aware that he was involved in any investigation that they were looking into, at least. So this morning's video is really the first time that he's saying that any investigation involving him may be underway. We reached out to the White House for comment. They deferred to the U.S. Department of Justice. The U.S. Department of Justice declined to comment. I also reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Sacramento, the Eastern District. They also didn't respond. Now, to possibly prove that this was politically motivated, the governor tonight submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. He's looking for specifically texts, emails, messages, signal chats that could have the terms Gavin Newsom, Jennifer Siebel Newsom used by...
They should include new scum.
Any of the department's leaders under President Donald Trump. What happens next legally on either side? Stay tuned.
Okay. So Gavin Newsom's chief of staff was arrested and has taken a plea deal for like tax evasion, all the standard white collar crime list, but apparently that investigation has spilt over into Gavin Newsom's office. Okay. What are the odds?
And then he's projecting that it is this is Trump doing it. Not really.
Betting odds over under. Do we trust the plan? And are we going to see Gavin Newsom get perp walked out, he and his wife? Are we going to see that? Or is this just kind of a thorn in their side, something they're going to have to deal with?
I don't know.
Just tamp him down a little politically. That's, I don't know. Until we see the accountability and actually see an arrest, it's hard to know. But the fact that his family, friends are being reached out to and approached at this point probably means they're in the final stages of setting their perjury traps and whatnot.
When we played that earlier clip about the UFC and how the FBI was doing their job and finding accountability, I was like, oh, it's a little cringy.
Yeah. But at the same time, we're like, can you get some accountability over here? We know they stole money.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like the accountability that they were like waving the flag on. I was like, you guys need to quit waving that so hard. If you guys want to talk about accountability, let's get going.
Yeah, let's go here. You rattled off 5 names that are on Trump's enemies list. I got about 3,000 of them from the last 4 years I could point to and be like, yeah, I didn't even know I was a Biden enemy.
And you're not moving on any of them, but you can get a drone. Good job.
You can be at my house within a week, but you can't, some of these guys, it takes years to put together the case. So this is MS Now. They reacted to this. Again, this is in a normal world, Ron. This is earth-shattering news. The governor of California, one of the largest economies in the world, is under investigation by the FBI. Like, this is where there's smoke, there's fire, right? It used to be if you were getting investigated, it was like, oh my gosh, they're guilty because our system is so perfect. Nobody ever gets investigated that hasn't done something wrong. Right? This is the old idea. But see, now, because it's happened to us, we now have to hold the mirror up a little bit and go, is this politically motivated or not? Our bias says, no, they're guilty as sin. Go get them. Right. But at the same time, we haven't seen any indictments. Why is it? Because in a lot of ways, these guys have legalized their crimes.
Yeah.
Right. They've made it to where you can't come after them because it's legal to do whatever shenanigans they're doing. Yeah. That's why it'll be interesting to see if it all boils down to like some tax issues. You did your accounting wrong. Go to jail. That's like that's the Al Capone model. Right. So this is MS Now opining on the significance of this Gavin Newsom investigation.
Once Trump came into office, we don't know which bucket this is.
All right. So, Mike, one of the details in the New York Times article and what Mr. Newsom's office has said is that the investigation is a fresh attempt to smear him after the federal prosecution of his former chief of staff revealed no misconduct by the governor. The former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, pleaded guilty last month to 3 felonies in a sprawling corruption case. Has this been a big story out there in California?
It's been an extremely big story here in the Sacramento community, where people are absolutely worried about being targeted, not just the elected officials, which is clearly the case. We're also witnessing, by the way, Trump's Department of Justice making these allegations about widespread voter fraud, and that other, indictments will be coming on that front from the U.S. Attorney in Southern California. But from a staff perspective, people, I think, are increasingly, there's a chill that's being sent out, recognizing that if you're involved in politics in the United States of America, that could come with a price now.
This, I imagine, having dealt with the Newsoms and having obviously witnessed all of his statements on camera and whatnot and seen him in interviews, this must not have been.
What's the look on her face here? Is this a look of like genuine perplexity, or is this a look of concern? Like she knows these guys stink to high heaven and they're being investigated, and it's her political side of the aisle. This is a bad look, or is she like, what's the look here?
I'm not sure.
I mean, look at her face as she says this. Like, I'm not quite certain what read to get off this.
And having obviously witnessed all of his statements on camera and whatnot and seen him in interviews, this must not have been a surprise to them. As somebody who goes up against Donald Trump, there is now an expectation that if the administration wants to, they're going to find a way to make your life uncomfortable. Again, we've seen this with so many people. We've seen it with Letitia James, with
Rudy Giuliani. And we saw it with Carter Page. We saw it with George Papadopoulos. We saw it with, should we keep going?
Adam Schiff, with Chris Krebs, John Brennan. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you are a notable figure in pushing back
in weaponization of government in the last decade
against Donald Trump's efforts to either overturn the election or to get him impeached or to
that's me. She included me to overturn the election. I was included in the
run against him or the party, that you're going to be somebody that they're going to look pretty closely at, and not just politically, but with the full might of the federal government and the Department of Justice. Mike Madrid, the chill that you're talking about, does it stop people from running? Does it stop somebody like Gavin Newsom from running for office?
I mean, that's a great question. When you bring in the awesome power of the federal government, it changes the dynamics entirely. This is a lot different than, running for a state legislature or school board office where the politics get messy, complicated, and mean and nasty. This is extraordinary. Let's remember where this began. This began when Donald Trump called Zelensky and tried to blackmail him, essentially, hold up the future of his country by forcing him to begin investigation on Joe Biden. This is part.
I love this enemies list.
I do
Eugene
too.
Carroll, James Comey, Lisa Cook, Letitia James. Lisa Cook wasn't an enemy of Donald Trump. She just committed mortgage fraud. She wasn't an enemy of Donald Trump. She just committed mortgage fraud. Letitia James, enemy of Donald Trump. mortgage fraud as well. John Brennan, CIA director. Adam Schiff, we all know what's going on there. Jerome Powell wasn't necessarily an enemy of Donald Trump. I mean, Trump really wanted him to lower interest rates, but
no, he's just one of the levers.
Cassidy Hutchinson, perjurer, liar, clearly. Jack Smith, enemy. Miles Taylor, he's the anonymous author that acted like he was Trump's best friend. Turns out he was like an outside staffer. Chris Krebs, he's the one who basically greenlit the ballot shenanigans. John Bolton, indicted, accepted a plea deal, kept classified information, said Trump should go to prison for having classified information. So, you reap what you sow. Fannie Willis, enemy. George Soros, mega donor, enemy. Okay, I get it. But come on, man. Really?
Parcel of how the Trump administration works in politics today. And the reason why he is coming after Gavin Newsom, as the governor mentioned, is because he views him as a threat. They view him as the most significant threat to their power structure. It does have an unintended consequences of, I think, rallying the Democratic base around the person who is being prosecuted or attacked. But the question becomes whether or not there's enough of that in this country to prevent, again, a president who is untethered, unanchored, and commands this extraordinary, awesome power that the federal government has to make people's lives a living hell. And that's the objective here.
Donald Trump had said in June of 2025, back when a lot of the immigration protests were happening in Los Angeles and the border czar was sent down there, that he personally, Trump said, would arrest Gavin Newsom if he were border czar Tom Homan. This is, by the way, hours after Tom Homan said that there had been no discussion about arresting Newsom. I mean, the beef between these two men goes back years. I mean, there have been brief moments of respite, but there's been a jockeying for the upper hand between these two men for a long time, Mike Madrid. And Newsom, especially recently in the past year, has been seen as the lead figure in the resistance against Donald Trump, really going at him in a way that nobody else has, especially online, trying to mock him the way that Donald Trump mocks everybody with his social media, even showing up, frankly, at Davos and standing in the crowd in Donald Trump's eye line. It seems like the intention has been for Gavin Newsom to really troll the president of the United States.
Katie, that's exactly right. And I think all of those reasons are why the president is acting and behaving the way that he is. This president has a tell when he's afraid of somebody, he attacks them. And Gavin Newsom has shown no fear. He's gone at him. He's tried it in a statesman way, as you mentioned, from some of the early attacks. When the ICE raids came, he changed his tone and tenor decisively and began trolling him using the same techniques and tactics and beating Donald Trump at his own game, all the way until Proposition 50 and saying, if you're going to do mid-decade redistricting, we're going to beat you at your own game. And he has consistently beaten Donald Trump to the point, as you just mentioned, he's become essentially the front runner for the Democratic Party, or certainly the tip of the spear of the resistance nationally. Yeah. And that I think is why the fear from the White House is leading him to begin this type of investigative activity.
Oh, yeah. So the one difference here, and I'll make this point, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
So from my perspective, Gavin Newsom, though the Democrats may view him as the front runner,
they're like tip of the spear.
He has no credibility around the country. No. Like I don't think there's local Democrats who are like, I wish we had a governor like Gavin Newsom that would go to the French Laundry without a mask or social distancing while we're on lockdown. I don't see that as like, if that's the best they have, we don't have a lot to fear.
Yeah, I mean? Bring him on.
If that's the best they have, we don't have a lot to fear. But at the same time, Gavin Newsom, he's one of these political characters that's wildly chameleon-like. He will be whatever you need him to be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't view him as anybody who has any particular like skill sets. You know what I mean? Like, he's not someone that strikes me as like, he's a good legislature. He's whatever the puppet masters need him to be.
He's like silly putty.
Yes, he's like silly putty. He's whatever the puppet masters need him to be at the moment. Now, we do need to be concerned because the Democrats are planning a comeback, right? They're looking at the midterms thinking they can take the House, maybe even take the Senate.
Oh, yeah.
Raphael Warnock, who's one of these senators from Georgia, who I believe in 2021, got a stolen seat. That's my opinion. I believe Georgia was stolen in 2020, and along with the presidency electoral college votes, so went the senators as well.
Okay.
Now, there was a turnout issue when it came to the runoff election, and I don't remember if he was in it or Ossoff was in it. There was a turnout issue amongst Republicans. Admittedly, we're very defeated after the 2020 election, right? Admittedly. But nonetheless, that doesn't take away all the fraud that seems to happen in Georgia. But here's what would happen to the Supreme Court if the Democrats regained power.
Because some of your colleagues and fellow Democrats are calling for adding additional seats to the Supreme Court. Would you support that? Would you vote to add additional seats to the Supreme Court, Senator?
I think we have to look at what's happening in our country because it's very serious. Donald Trump, in this most recent iteration, began this terrible race to the bottom that we're seeing with gerrymandering by calling into Texas and saying, I need 5 more seats. The Supreme Court then poured fuel on that fire. And with a vengeance.
Politics is a big part.
While people are literally casting their votes, we're seeing state legislatures led by craven politicians race to try to play with the lines, to jimmy rig the outcome in order to make it impossible for ordinary American citizens to hold their elected officials accountable at a time where this economy is not working for us. And the Supreme Court continues to undermine its own credibility. I think that all options have to be on the table. We definitely need reform to this court. We need a code of ethics. And all options at this point have to be on the table.
So that includes adding seats and or term limits?
All options have to be on the table.
Okay. Senator, let me.
These guys want to blow up the system because the system's not working for them anymore. It's not working for them. These 9 guys on the Supreme Court, we just can't pack the court enough. We haven't gotten enough people in. It's actually kind of interesting that it's very fortunate that Barack Obama only got 1 appointment to the Supreme Court and Trump got 3. It's very, very convenient. It worked out well. Now, the Democrats have been riding high on this idea that they're going to get into office. God's Army Brat 9444 says they, all in office, are guilty of a list of things. Question is, what are they going to put forward? No matter who is in that office, they are going to cry, it's political, and do it anyways. Yeah, it's amazing the amount of cover you can get if you're in office. And this goes both directions, Republicans and Democrats, especially when it comes to the topic of money. Right? Like you can do insider trading all day long. There is, however, the one state representative that resigned recently because she was indicted for stealing $5 million worth of COVID fraud.
Whoa.
Hey, listen, House of Representative members, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. So do your insider trading. Don't steal money from the government, right? I mean, you can steal it from the market, but don't steal it from the government.
Yeah, steal it from the people, not the government.
Yeah, steal it from the people, not the government. Duh. Don't you know that?
Duh.
Here in Kitsap County, if someone were to break into your house right now, the cops wouldn't even come out and investigate it. They would send you to the online portal where you can report the crime, get your case number for your insurance payout. But they are so down on staff, they're not investigating most property crimes. Like
yesterday, did you hear the notice that came out that the 911 call center was not working here in Kitsap County?
Are you kidding me?
No, it's the first time. I was like, I'm not a here, I'll put myself on camera. I'm not a guy that normally I shouldn't even say this. I'm not a guy that normally conceals carries. But if 911's not working, I'm carrying.
Oh, dude. No kidding.
I mean, who are you going to call? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody. It's not good at all. Okay, so the Harry Enton as CNN.
And I thought that was really weird that the 911 call center just quit working the day after all these people decided to quit. Okay.
That is weird. That is weird. Now, they're still in office till the 26th, right? But yeah, it is a little weird. By the way, we have an update on that. We're going to do that in its own stream after this show on the Kitsap County situation. Okay, so Harry Enton had to throw some cold water on the Democrats on this idea that they're just going to walk into the midterms and take the House, take the Senate.
Politics is a big part of this. UFC's audience is 68% male, and most of it's under age 54. It just so happens that men under age 54 or under age 50 are a key target demographic for Republicans in this election. Trump won midterm elections.
You know
So
what?
Democrats.
That's the wrong clip.
Wrong clip. Let's see if I can find it. Real
We
quick.
played that one yesterday, and I was like, man, I'm in their demographic hard.
Yeah, let's see. Harry Enton was talking about polling is not as good as you'd think. Where's
we all kind of know that, though. Right?
Yeah, we have an intuitive feeling about it, but the polling, it's all over the place. It's hard to know. Okay, here we go. Here it is. I got the clip. So here's Harry Enton.
Have an edge, but compared to CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton is here. So what are the warning signs here?
Yeah, I think the warning sign is this. Democrats have an edge, but compared to what we see historically, it's really not that big of a lead. I mean, just take a look here. Okay, this is Congress National June polls, Dem leads, and this is NBC News, midterm years with the GOP press. Look at this. They're up by 5 points, but that's half the lead they had back in 2018 when it was 10 points, and less than half the lead they had back in 2006 with 11 points when Democrats took back the House in both of those years. And now the Democratic lead is on a single hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And it's this type of lead where you say, you know what, Democrats are ahead, but don't count your chickens just quite yet.
And Harry, we've been talking about this. As time goes on, you and I have kept on looking at these numbers saying it just doesn't look like the numbers we've seen when there have been waves for Democrats in the past. What are the trends in the other polls?
Yeah, okay. So this is not just one poll in which we are seeing this. There is this group of pollsters that are out there that are just not showing the wave you might expect given where the president's approval rating is. Okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about NBC, Marquette University Law School, and Ipsos. Look at where they were January and February, and look at where they are May and June. NBC, down a point. MU Law, down 3 points. Ipsos, basically staying the same. So the Democrats hold these leads, but again, you have this group of pollsters that are out there where this lead, simply put, is not matching what you might expect if you're expecting a Democratic wave.
And that's sort of in a vacuum. What about in a year where Republicans have already made significant gains in terms of redistricting?
Exactly right. So you might say, hey, the president's approval is way down low. You expect Democrats to be way up high, especially given him in the record lows because of the Iran war not happening. And then you put in redistricting. Democrats in the National House vote, look at this, needed to control with redistricting. We really think the Democrats need between a 3 and 4 point advantage in the national vote. You average those polls together. We just saw on the last screen, Ipsos, MU Law, and NBC. It's right on the border there. It's right on the border. It is no guarantee. It is far from a guarantee at this point, if you believe these pollsters.
Very tight. Now, what are the prediction markets saying about Democrats' hopes to retake both chambers?
Yeah, okay. So then you take a look. Okay, look at the Kalshi prediction market. Chance to win number terms. Look, Democrats clearly have the advantage at 78% chance, but that's far from 100%, right? That's a 1 in 5, more than a 1 in 5 chance. Republicans hold on. You look at the Senate. The GOP still has the edge there. More likely than not that the GOP holds on to the Senate, according to cash prediction markets. So basically, I'm putting out this warning sign. These are the warning signs, right? Yes, Democrats probably take back the House, but it's far from a guarantee, or we are not going to get caught like in past years. We ignore those polls that had those warning signs.
Yeah, stand by. We need more information on this, but it's a trend worth watching. Harry, and thank you very much.
I tend to think that the redistricting, like, how do you poll the redistricting? A polling company would have to spend so much money to poll the individual districts. They do just national polls. 1,500 people, they extrapolate what the national, preference is.
Right.
The problem is, as we know, that's very weighted towards the city. It's always weighted towards Democrats. Individualists, Republicans, conservatives do not like to take polls, period. Okay. You're not going to catch a farmer out in his field at noon taking a poll.
No,
and after
it's gonna be
dinner,
like, you're
he's
wasting my time.
Don't call my house. You collect calls. I'm having dinner. I'm watching my stories. Okay.
Click.
It's not happening. Democrats are way more likely to share their opinion. It's just the way it's kind of always been that case. So polling always has a skew towards the Democrat Party, and the national polling, especially because you're more likely to get a hold of people in the city.
I think Democrats look at polls as their patriotic duty.
Yeah. This is my vote, right? This is my vote. As long as I can seed the zeitgeist with my support, it'll always go my way.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a good thing that they're not in a position where it looks like they're running away with it, because it creates plausible believability that the Republicans can win, which I do believe they will win. Now, with the Iran war apparently wrapping up, there has been a docusign a digitally signed document between the Iranians and the White House for this ceasefire peace deal. So, you know, we have an electronic signature. We're supposed to meet this weekend, I think, in Switzerland to actually sign the deal, wet ink. That'll be really interesting.
All right.
So Ari Ben Menashi, he's a former Israeli intelligence officer. Now, I don't put a ton of weight on this. Who knows what level of intelligence officer he was? I mean, he could have just been an operative, like Buck Sexton. You know, used to be a CIA agent. Whatever. He was a paper analyst all over the place, right? Not necessarily like someone who's sworn in into the deep state cabal. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, yeah. But this guy's assessment is Netanyahu is going to do anything he can to derail these peace deals.
If there's a real deal between the Americans and the Iranians, and it's going towards that, Netanyahu will try to sabotage it. One of the ways he'd sabotage it is by putting out Epstein material against U.S. government officials, including Trump. And he put it out there. New material that wasn't seen before in public.
So it's not just Trump. I know that Howard Lutnick is mentioned. There are other officials.
And not just Trump, other officials too. Yes. And he'll try to sabotage the whole negotiation and deal that would be that they're trying to make together.
Okay. I don't know what you heard there, but I heard one thing. Israel was behind Epstein. If Israel's got the Epstein information, either they got it from the Southern District of New York, or got it from Epstein himself. But that is an interesting take, that Netanyahu is going to do everything he can to try to block this peace deal, which is kind of what it looked like the other day when Netanyahu and Israel ended up attacking Beirut in the under the idea that they're going after Hezbollah. Now, I'm not saying Hezbollah didn't attack, but the timing of this couldn't be worse, right? And it obviously became a huge stumbling block with Iran. And we've got the reporting that Trump called up Netanyahu. What the F do you think you're doing? You have no effing judgment, right? So Trump kind of went after Netanyahu. Well, at the G7 yesterday, so he stayed at the UFC fight for his birthday till about 2 a.m., went to Andrews Air Force Base, caught a red eye, flew over to France, woke up in the morning in France, and did the whole G7 summit. This man is an animal. He's an animal. Anybody who thinks that Biden had a couple jokes and then they kind of chat back and forth. And this guy told this hilarious story about Mossad. It was back in the 70s, but they found this terrorist in I think it was Stockholm, Sweden, or Norway, wherever it was. Anyways, he was a pizza delivery guy, terrorist, right? So in the public square, they just blew off his head in front of everybody. Then 6 months later, they found out, wrong guy.
Oh my God.
It's only a wrong guy. So he goes on to say, like, when Mossad goes after a terrorist that's in an apartment, they don't just kill the terrorist, they drop the whole apartment. They have no problem with collateral damage. And Trump mentions this exact thing.
The expectations for Israel, can this deal survive if Israel attacks Lebanon?
It can, and I consider that the minor war, the big one, but we have that little pinprick out there that constantly rears its head. And that's Hezbollah. And I was very responsible for Syria, and the man that's running Syria now is a person that I put there along with President Erdogan and some others. He's done an amazing job of pulling it together. He's not a Boy Scout. He's done an amazing job of pulling it together. And he is very good with Hezbollah. Does not like them. I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody. Because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses. And they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it. I didn't like Syria. I didn't like where 2 hours before we're signing the agreement that there was an attack in Lebanon, in Beirut. It was right in. It wasn't like in the southern side, and was in Beirut. I did not like that. I didn't like it, not at all. But I think that, he's pulled that country together amazingly quickly. He's very capable. And he's been very good for me. He's protected everything that I've asked for, he's done. And if Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
I'm pretty sure Trump just gave legs to the idea that Netanyahu's a war criminal.
Yeah.
You don't have to take out the whole apartment. Not everybody in there is Hezbollah. War crime. For the conservatives out there that are just anti-Israel, Trump is clearly, he's pro-Israel, but he's clearly not like, let them do whatever they want. And this definitely isn't a tail wagging the dog situation. Despite their best efforts, Israel can't seem to wrangle Donald Trump. Even Mark Levine, the great one, like, Trump has like hugged on stage and has acted like he's still a staunch ally, unlike Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and the others. Well, Mark Levine is also big mad at the situation because Donald Trump is putting the handcuffs on Israel.
It has murdered Israelis. Are we committed to protecting Hezbollah so it can continue to attack Israel and continue to brutalize the people in Lebanon? This is the lifeline that Iran is depending on. Well, if we are, then this deal won't stand. It won't stand for long, even during the Trump presidency. Israel will not be able to adhere to what would be a suicide pact. The Israeli people won't put up with it. The prime minister won't put up with it. We should not accept it either.
Who's we?
Because remember, Hezbollah has attacked us.
Oh, the Jews. Jews. Okay, we attacked us. Okay, the Jews. Got it.
Forced to defend itself, including preemptively against Hezbollah in Lebanon. And remember, they're not at war with Lebanon. They have a peace deal with Lebanon. They've never been at war with Lebanon. And it is said to be in violation of the deal. We saw this play out earlier, providing the Iranian regime with a strategic opportunity to attack Israel, claiming it's defending its ally and that Israel violated the deal. What then? Will Israel become a pariah? Will it be admonished? Iran's counting on it, and so is Hezbollah. Hezbollah must not be in the deal. It must not, and that must be very clear. But to me, and at this stage, it's not very clear. It has murdered Israel.
His lapel pins are approaching the size of brooches at this point.
Oh my gosh.
These things are huge, aren't they? All right, Ron, what do we got?
Oh man, let's do this. Pow.
It worked.
Access Med, powered by Trinova Health, is a revolutionary telehealth service that offers fast, free online evaluations and free home delivery of customized compounded medications, offering custom weight loss support, ivermectin therapy, hair restoration, cosmetic rejuvenation, custom ED treatments, and more. You can complete your visit in less than 10 minutes, and there's no subscriptions or recurring fees ever. We've made getting started easier than ever. Simply follow the link, choose the product or treatment you're interested in, and then complete a quick online evaluation. Within days, your custom meds will arrive at your door. Mention Rumble in the coupon code and get 10% off your first treatment. Pew!
Awesome. All right, very cool. All right, so another funny thing Donald Trump said is he's pretty sure he can get Congress to approve this plea deal. Or not plea deal, this peace deal, and he's got a plan for it.
Democrats, because they're dumb people. The Democrats are, well, what I'd like to do is send it to Congress saying you shouldn't approve it, and I'll get it approved. Because they do whatever I say, they want to do the opposite. It's not working too well for them, by the way. Yeah, I never thought about sending it, never even thought about it, but I will. I will send it to Congress. I like the idea.
Tell him I don't want this approved. Approved! You know what? Donald Trump, do the same thing. Hey, we're all in for mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting. And you could even slip up and say, we've developed the largest voter fraud organization in the history of the world. And I'm sure the Democrats right then will just get real angsty about it. Oh, we got to clean up these elections. Take all the illegals off the ballots. Might be an Idaho thing, but Trump sounds like Benjamin Netanyahu now. So just funny about Mark Levine, right? This is just a flashback in time back to the Putin conflict.
Sovereignty, if they give up their nukes, there are no nukes there. There's been a phony story about American biotech centers there to develop weapons and so forth. And of course, the Putin wing of the Republican Party and the Putin wing of the media and the Putin wing of the Democrat Party, they're all over it. Now, those are old Soviet locations that the United States has located and has been trying to deal with. We're not developing biochemical weapons in the Ukraine. What is it about these so-called American firsters in the end who are really American lasters, if you think about it?
So turns out we did have biomedical centers in Ukraine. And they're not old Soviet sites, and they were being actively funded by the United States. What are these old American firsters? Just love Russia. Love Russia.
America lasters.
America lasters. Oh, my goodness. What a joke. Another funny thing. Not funny. This is actually very sad. One of America's B-52 bombers. And I don't know how many of these we have. But these are massive guns, right? So this is an Edwards Air Force Base in California. And this isn't the B-2 bomber that crashes, but it's a takeoff flight. But look at that. One of these B-2 bombers died. All the crew members on board passed away.
Oh, no.
That is the second military flight that has crashed domestically. There was another one that crashed in Idaho this last week. But,
jeez.
man, it makes me wonder when they're stacked up like that. It makes me wonder if there's some sabotage behind enemy lines. Kind of interesting. All right, guys, we had a short show today. We are going to jump over to private, and we are just going to listen to a small little bit of hopium about Bitcoin. And then we are going to take a quick break, and then we are going to come back, and we are going to do another local Kitsap County story. We're going to follow up on the sheriff's story and the county chief deputy auditor. We got some updates on that story yesterday. So join us for the next stream, but we're jumping over into private.